Welcome back to another fabulous episode of Sex and
X
the
and the
One,
one.
which we are very to be having another exciting guest on. And as you can
Very
probably
excited.
see, this is a very unusual scenario that we have going on here, which makes us even more excited. Please welcome Jay from Playfully Wicked Events.
Woo! Welcome,
Thank you.
Jay. We're so excited to have you on the pod. Your first podcast.
It
We
is.
feel very privileged.
Yes. But thank you for asking me to be here. So yeah, I'm a little bit nervous, but I talk a lot, so I think I can do this.
So all is well. That's what podcasts are for. So you're in the right
Yes.
place. So
Yes.
the first
If
question, I
you
guess, yeah, sorry, go.
Wait, let's preface this. Like, if you're driving in the car listening, maybe take some time to look at the visual after you stop driving. Like, please drive safely. But just have a look at the a little video, because you may see our faces, but then we have Jay, and Jay's going to explain a little bit more as to why we have the mask and the gorgeous wig
Yes.
to, as a part of the persona, I would say. Yeah, like, let's get into that.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I don't like I do faceless content because I don't want the focus to be on what I look like. And it's kind of in keeping with our parties as well, because a lot of the time at these parties people like to get dressed up. It's all about, being discreet, kind of a lot of people are quite can be quite anonymous. Like a lot of people have like this alternate identity that like in the swingers scene.
Yeah, I
So
was about to
that's what
say,
I
if we could just back it up just a tiny bit, because people won't necessarily know what you're talking about right now, because some
oh,
people
okay.
will have no knowledge at all about the swing scene or parties. So
Yes.
you are the organizer of Playfully Wicked Events, which runs, would you call them sex parties?
Yeah, yep, yep.
Which runs sex parties once every few months in Melbourne.
Yes, we
And
do. We don't have them very often, and we're quite new in terms of parties to the scene. But I've been in the scene for a long time, and we wanted to do this with a group of friends because we wanted to create our own experience, but also a safe space for women to explore whatever they want to, and also make friends with
so
other
what sorts
people.
of things happen? Like, how do these events happen? To like run like there'll be people who have no idea, never heard of these events, don't know anything about them. Run people through how you would find one, why it would interest you, what kind of thing would happen on the night, like just like
Yep. Okay.
talk through exactly what
How
experience.
how you okay? How I found out about the parties when I became active, I guess you could say in the scene. I don't like to call it swinger scene, but we'll just call it that. They're usually advertised on various apps, like like one is Red Hot Pie. I don't know if I can say,
Yep.
but there are different
Say
apps. There are different apps that that cater to casual hookups, a particular lifestyle, and then a lot of these parties are listed in these apps. So I just come out of a long-term relationship, and then I saw I was going out with someone, and I was really curious about these parties, so I'd seen them advertised, and I just asked my male friend to go to one of these parties with me. And that's how people find them, really. I think it's also, is it Reddit? There's like a chat group in Reddit where it's called like Melbourne Swingers Parties or something like that. So I think you just have to do a little bit of digging, but you can find them advertised kind of anywhere, really. And the important part is, I think you need to do your research though before
Yes.
attending one of these events, because you need to make sure that they're safe. There are lots of different types. So there are house parties, there are like exclusive screened events, which is the type that I have, that are quite small. But then you also get your big dance, like they're almost like rave dance events
saints and
where,
sinners.
yeah, yeah, like Saints and Sinners. Purr is another one. So it depends on what type of experience you want. And I was just really curious about, I just wanted to go to any, like when I first came across them, because I had no idea. And before when I was in my long-term relationship, I was like, it was very, very vanilla, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I wanted to explore and kind of see all these different things. So I came across the ad, and I was like, to my friend, do you want to come with me to this? And We attended the first one. I think the very first one was Perth. That was 2019, something like that. Um, I loved it. I loved it because, and you guys should go. You should come um, because everybody there is so open minded. It's
Yes.
about all body types, shapes, and sizes. People walking around in their underwear, and it's really surreal when you first get there and you experience it, but it gives you a whole new appreciation for your body. It kind of
Mm.
helps you develop this confidence that you didn't even know. Well, I didn't even know I had, really. So that's the experience that I take away from these parties and the scene in general.
So you obviously went to a few parties, and then what made you decide to run your own?
Because I'd been to so many. I wanted to create my own experience, and I had a close girlfriend and a couple who we know well, and we're friends, and they just said, well, let's do our own party. It did come from wanting to create a space where it was less about the sex and more about the connection and making friends with other women in the scene. Like, the sexual part, because we're all sexual beings, right? Everyone wants to be desired and all of that stuff. But for my parties, I wanted it to be the focus is all about connection, genuine friendship, and things like that. Where you can, walk away and you've made a friend with someone, and if you've done naughty stuff together, that's great too. But that's like the afterthought. It's not the focal point for me. And that's why I wanted to run my parties.
Okay.
So
Do you
what sort?
find
Yeah, sorry, go.
couples go to like married couples go to these events
Yeah,
often? Like, are
yeah,
your, because
yeah.
that's obviously where my brain's going, but
Yeah,
yes.
absolutely. The couple that I run the parties with who assist, they're married. Like they've got young children. They're lovely. And I think they recently opened up their marriage to other experiences and things like that. So yeah, I actually have heaps of friends that are married and couples, and some long term, some have like teenage children. Organizing the parties is interesting because some of them that have older children, sometimes adult children,
Yeah.
they're like, make sure that no one associated with my kids is going to be there because I can't do that. I'm like, yeah, fair enough. So it's
Yeah.
also managing that. But yeah, absolutely. And the parties are for couples, single women. We have a handful of single guys, but they're screened. I
Yeah.
usually make sure that they understand consent and all that sort of stuff. So I'm very careful with that because there's a lot of I've not had any bad experiences in the scene, but there are other people that have had.
Yeah.
But I think because I may be a little bit more careful with what parties I'm going, and maybe a little bit more research involved. I'm not sure, but yeah, there are people that have had bad experiences, and that's what I don't want to have at ours. So yeah.
Yeah.
Would you describe as a bad experience? Like, what sorts of things should people look out for?
I think mostly it's people that are pushy, and it's not just men; it can be women too. But yeah, over like people that don't understand consent. Like if someone says no, it's a no. Like you don't follow up with, oh, come on, maybe we can try something. Yeah. So it's just looking for people that are not pushy first. Like that's the first red flag. If there's any kind of pushback on that, then I don't even. There's
Yeah.
no. There's no follow on from there. It's just a no.
So is that how you would that be involved in your screening process? Like for the
Yeah.
guys, for example, would you like interview them to see what type of personality they had in that regard?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. With the screening, and well, this goes for everybody, but I spend about half an hour, even to an hour sometimes, on the telephone with them. Like it's a FaceTime, and we talk about, and I try to get a sense of, just vibes. What kind of people. What sort of movies do you like? I mean, I think you can spend about an hour talking to someone, and you get a pretty good idea of what they're like. So, but definitely, consent is one of the big like the topics that I will talk to them about. If they've been to any similar events, how they handled, someone not wanting, not being interested in them and things like that, because that people are going to not be interested in you. So yeah.
What's your favorite thing about the events for you personally?
It's meeting people, like genuinely just particularly other women in the scene. Because I'm single and I really like making, and I've made a lot of really genuine connections with other women who who are friends. Like we go out and catch up and not just for, not just for sex parties, we go out and do normal stuff. So yeah.
Would you say most of the scene is like, are most people private about their lives in this area? Or do you find some of them everyone knows in their life?
They are. No, I no, they are. A lot of people are very private because it's not socially accepted still. I mean, there is a lot of negativity associated with it, and it's not what people think generally. It's not a gangbang. It's like, I mean, that
Yeah.
those types of parties are available, but it's not the normal, kind of thing that happens at one of these parties.
Thank you for clarifying that, because I'm just like when I think of that, I'm like, oh, well, what does it look like? And I'm honestly like, I'm married, I've been married for a long time, and I'm like, would is this something that we could explore? I'm really not sure, because I don't know what to expect. So I love that we're able to have this conversation and to open it up to, because we have various types of people that listen to the podcast. So yeah, thank you for sharing this. Like, we want all the details because it's just
Yeah,
giving us a picture of what to experience. And I guess, we're curious beings as well. And it's just, I don't know if I'm ever going to walk into a party one day. So I want
yeah,
to know now
yeah,
before,
yeah, yeah.
what to expect.
So yeah, no, absolutely. And I talk about this I do lots of lives on TikTok and things like that.
Yeah.
It is that, it's a Diddy party, or you like gangbangs, and it's not. It's nothing like that. There are kind of very niche parties that cater to people that want that, and that's fine. But
Mm.
most of them, and a lot of the smaller intimate parties, like the ones that I run, I would say go like this. You get there. Mine are usually like at a really beautiful, like a penthouse or a luxurious apartment, to set the scene, make sure everyone's comfortable. They get there, have a couple of drinks. Usually, we give that they start get there 8 o'clock. Everyone has to be there by about 9:30. Doors shut. We don't want anyone coming in after that. And then, so we give everyone about an hour or two to talk, get to know each other, and just mingle like you would at a normal party. With fully clothes on, cocktail over. Yeah, yeah. We have alcohol. We have drinks. We don't allow drug use, and also we don't want people being overly drunk either, because that
Yeah.
affects consent.
Yeah.
So we have four hosts, which is me, a close friend, and the couple that I mentioned earlier. And so after 9:30, and then if people want to, usually with the people that I have at my party, we've got a mix of people that have been in the scene for a little while, and people that have, it's their first time. Usually the guys that have been in the scene for a while, they'll get their gear off and they'll just go straight into the rooms, right? Because some of them already know each other as well.
Yeah. Okay.
Whereas some of the newbies will just, kind of tentatively maybe watch, or maybe like, just kind of maybe kiss people or something like that. But there's never any pressure to do anything. Like, you can just socialize if that's what you want to do, and get to know people. I had one single guy come for the first time. He was really sweet. He was very, very respectful. He spoke to everybody really nicely. He was such a nice guy. He didn't do anything. Like,
Yeah.
I thought he'd be the first to have his gear off, right? And be in one of the rooms. But also consent is a thing. I mean, you still need to have a connection with
Yeah.
another couple, or a woman or a man, or who, it's like, and that's why we give people the opportunity to talk and mingle and chat and all that sort of stuff. And then if they want to, they kind of move off into rooms and get
Do
naughty
their
and do
thing.
do lots of naughty stuff.
People go. Like, how many people we talking are there?
It depends. I At ours last, we had about 25. I like to keep it small and intimate. Also for safety reasons, I think, if it gets too big, it's difficult to oversee what people are getting up to. I know of other people that run parties where they have up to 60 people, like same scenario, but they also have more people helping out. So in the scene, we have consent angels, who are people that oversee that people are being the right kind of naughty, right?
Yeah.
And then there's someone there if anyone is feeling uncomfortable about something. There's someone that they can go to. With my parties, I'm the host. I don't do anything at the parties other than host and make sure everybody else is being looked after, along with the other hosts that we have. Yeah, and then
So,
it finishes up. So the parties usually finish up at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, depending on
Yeah.
yeah, what your party is. But mine's for 1 o'clock. Yeah.
so like 11 p.m. Well, just as this is for B to picture in her brain. If she was to knock on the door, she wouldn't be allowed in. But just say she
Nah.
was allowed in, she'd walk in, she'd see a few people over by the bar chatting. Then she'd go to like one, two, three of the bedrooms, and maybe
Yeah.
there's five people in each bedroom in
Doors open.
Doors are
various
doors are
undress.
always open because
You know that.
yeah,
Yeah,
no,
this is why I'm doing.
doors
This is why
stay
I'm
open.
walking. Because like this is the stuff that people don't realize what happens.
Oh, yeah. Well, doors stay open, I think, for safety too. Like,
Yeah.
I, as a host, I need to be able to see what's going on in all the rooms in case something that shouldn't be going on is,
Yeah.
so I need to be able to easily doors open. Yeah, there's a little bit of, if you're a bit of an exhibitionist, and you want to have a bit of a go at that, like it's really exciting and it's surreal at the same time because, yeah, if you were to walk in at 11 o'clock, most people will actually be in their underwear, even if they're not doing anything naughty, right? Like they're sipping drinks, cocktails, and they're just in their underwear in the kitchen, or they're just hanging out in, like, on the lounge in their lingerie. Like, and usually people come, men, and particularly the women, love to get dressed in like really beautiful lingerie,
Yeah.
and they'll just kind of hang out. That's the surreal part. But I was
Quite
saying,
empowering for a woman, isn't it? Like to
yeah,
just be able
yeah,
to
no,
stand there
absolutely.
in her lingerie and not be involved in anything if you don't want to
Yeah,
be, and be involved if you want to be.
yeah, 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 absolutely. And the funny thing is because one of my close friends, we go to a lot of the parties together, a girlfriend. When we go out, like we went to see a movie a few months ago, and I saw her come out of an Uber, and I didn't even recognize her because she's like, we're in civilian clothing.
Civilian
Is what we
clothing.
call it. So
Yeah,
yeah, and like once you've gone to a lot of these parties, going to an event where you have to dress normally is really strange.
Yeah.
do people use fake names and fake
Yeah,
occupations?
most people do. Yeah, yeah, most people do. Look, I mean, and a lot of the people in the scene, they come from all walks of life. I mean, they're
Yeah.
CEOs, they run businesses, they're doctors. So it is, and it's. I mean, I wish it weren't so taboo. I think it's silly. I think it's crazy that it is because we're all kind of. It's a social event, but you just kind of happen to have your clothes off,
Yeah.
and you can do other things. Yeah.
Have you had many women come to you and say, I've got this sexual fantasy. Could you please help me enact the fantasy at the event? Have you had that happen?
I haven't had any women, but I did have a couple who wanted to attend the next party. I was chatting with them just last night, um, and they were after a like specific experience at the party. Yeah, and I think they're quite new, so they've not been to a party before, and they're like, "Oh, we want this to happen." And I just look, I can't guarantee that. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like it's based on talking to other people, developing a connection with these other people, and then them wanting to do it. Like I can't, if you want a specific experience, then you need to pay someone to create that experience for you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like I don't control what other people do at these parties. Like they just come along and then
Yeah.
they just meet and see what happens. So yeah.
What's the cost involved for like people coming to a party? Like a couple, a single, how does that work?
Yeah. Yeah, depends on, like, so different parties have different costs. Generally, women around $80 to $150. Depends on where the party's at, how exclusive it is. Sometimes we have them at penthouses, like beautiful penthouses, and they will cost a little bit more. So single women, generally, I would say around $80 to $100. Guys usually pay a little bit extra, so about $130 to $150, depends on the party again. Couples, it's just double that, so it's like around 180 to 200. But there are some parties that charge like 300 per person. Because they've got entertain, they might have like a burlesque.
Yeah,
Um,
okay.
so it just depends on how elaborate and what the focus of the event is. But that's the scene. So yeah, it's not cheap, but it's an experience that you wouldn't get anywhere
Yeah,
else. Yeah.
yeah,
How
definitely.
would you recommend it to someone? Like if someone said to you, "Why should I go?" or what would make me want to go? What would you say would be the top reason?
Yeah, I would recommend it because it will help you. I think it's always good to kind of step out of your comfort zone, right? And it will just open your eyes to just a different form of entertainment, I guess, and a different kinds of people as well. I'm always amazed by the different types of relationships I come across with people and how they make it work. I mean, monogamy is fabulous for some people, right? But for others, they're like, no, some people will openly date others, like they're married, but they will go on dates and spend time with other people. Other couples may only play at parties only together. So I'm amazed that, like, because relationships are hard, right? And to navigate that level of
Yep.
involving other people into your
Yes.
relationship, I think that's,
Chris, you've said that before. Like, it's actually harder to be in a relationship than to not be in a relationship. You have to think
oh
about the
yeah,
other person. You can't make a decision without consulting the other person. Like, it's hard work.
yeah.
But when you were like in your previous relationship before you went to your first party,
Hmm.
like were you always like a sexual being? Like were you very like, intersex with your partner? Like were you thinking about these things? Like was this a fantasy of yours that you'd wanted to live out? Like how can you give me a bit of the psyche
Yeah,
before
I
this
think,
part?
yeah, yeah. I think I was always curious about this sort of
Yeah.
stuff. My partner was very, he
Reserved?
was,
Boring. No, no, just me.
Vanilla.
it
I'm
just
one of those
wasn't his,
vanilla
he was,
people.
yeah, he was just very,
I said boring, and I wasn't talking about you.
he, he was just very traditional, right?
Yeah,
And
okay.
this, it just was not his thing. And that's fair, and that's okay. Never would have brought anything like this up with him because I know it would not have gone down well.
Yeah.
And yeah, and so when the relationship ended, but I felt like I had suppressed a lot of what I wanted to explore and do in that relationship. So, and it's much easier being in the scene as a single woman, absolutely, because I don't have to worry about somebody else's needs. Who I see regularly. I think hats off to the couples that kind of navigate their way through their relationship within the scene. I think but
Yeah.
you really do need to have a really strong level of communication,
Yeah.
and just a strong understanding of each other and boundaries. Like you're forced to talk about boundaries, what you're comfortable with, what you're not willing to do. A lot of couples don't have those conversations.
Yeah.
You're forced to with this. So
There's a
yeah.
high
Yeah.
level of emotional intelligence required to
Mm,
impart something like this, which is why I've always been intrigued by the scene for that reason, because it's the quality of the
The
people, the way they
people.
interact in society, just in general, that is intriguing, you know? Yeah.
Mm.
yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And that's the element that I enjoy about the scene and the people that I meet, the people that I've made friends with, and the couples. Yeah, I have a lot of friends who are couples who are in the scene, and we've not done anything naughty together, but I see them at events and parties and things like that. It's like, hey, nice to see you again. It's just really lovely.
Community.
But I've compared it to, so I don't go to normal clubs anymore. I went a couple of times with a girlfriend after I had come out of my relationship. And the comparison is just so different
Yeah.
because everyone in the swinger scene or at these parties, they're really warm and welcoming and they want to make, and even if you say, no, I don't want to play with you, I don't want to do anything with you, no worries, we'll have a
Expect
drink
that.
later or something like that. You go to a normal bar, right, and a normal
Yeah.
normal club, whatever it is. and people are real, they like, people don't even talk to each other. Like they'll get all dressed up, and they'll just kind of they'll stare at each other from a distance. It's really cold. A lot of the guys are drunk and
Mhm.
really awful. I've not experienced that at any swingers event. I've actually felt safer there than I have at a normal bar. Yeah, I think because there's more, because of, because there's sex on premises, things like that. People are a lot more not forgiving if guys are being, and I think guys are more mindful of.
I'm nodding profusely because, like, for example, I went to the Crown last year and I was waiting for someone. I can't remember what the situation was, but I got hit on by two different guys that just would not take no for an answer. And I
Mm,
am not shy, no issues with saying
yeah.
no. One guy I said no 8 times to, and he just completely, you would never get that at one of your parties. Like, if you say no once, that's it, no, it's
Mm.
respected.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, and that's why, yeah, there are, I mean, look, there are some guys that like will be a little persistent, but generally they're pretty good. And yeah, but it's just people are willing to make friends. They want to get to know you and they want to make friends with you. Whereas you go to other places and they're just not interested. They don't even want to speak. It's like, why are you here? Why are
Yeah.
you here if you're not going to speak to anybody?
Yeah.
And it's almost as though they're just out there to be seen. Whereas a lot of these events are people really do want to get to know other people, want to meet people in the scene. So
Mm.
that's that's a massive difference for me. Like, and I saw it straight away. So yeah, I don't bother with going to normal clubs at all anymore.
I
Yeah.
think that that's just like you've painted the picture beautifully. I can see it now, like it's very clear.
Yeah. Oh,
Is
that's
there
good.
any, yeah, are there any like tips, I guess, for any of the listeners that are like wanting to bridge from fantasy to reality? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
what potentially, how can they take that step to potentially go to their first party, or where would they start? Like, can you give some?
Yeah. No, I get that. I get asked that a lot. I think pick a party that you want to go to, but you don't like, just don't do anything. Just go there and like
Yeah.
talk to people. You don't have to.
That's a great tip.
Yeah, if you're going to a party and you feel pressured to do stuff, it's not a good party. And yeah. So I think, yeah, as much as you can do some research into the parties that you want to attend, and try and find one where it is the focus is social rather than don't do too much kink to begin with. Like, don't go to a party where they're going to have all this BDSM stuff, because that's
Yeah.
probably too much. And I mean, some of it freaks me out, and I've been around for ages.
Yeah. So where can people connect with you? Is Instagram best? Playfully Wicked
Yes,
on
yeah.
Instagram?
We've got an Instagram page. So Playfully Wicked is ours. We advertise on Red Hot Pie, which is like this kind of casual dating app. But that's all, yeah. And a lot of it comes from word of mouth with us as well. And because I go to lots of other events, I end up talking to people who just ask about stuff, and they're like, come to my party.
Yeah,
So
okay.
yeah, but just go to a party and not do anything. Just like, strip down to pick a really beautiful,
Just
like
watch.
pick a really nice lingerie set or something like that, right? And just spend the night watching other people and just talking to people. I think that's the best thing. And then as you kind of get to know people, you will get an understanding of what you feel comfortable doing. And you also meet people where you will want to do something with them in a way that you're comfortable doing it.
Yes. Yes. Yep.
Yeah, you kind of create that rapport.
One at a time. Yeah.
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 Thank you so much for coming on,
So
and
good.
we just have loved interviewing you. It has just been so informative and
Insightful.
So,
yeah, a little bit exciting.
thanks for
So
having me.
we really appreciate your time. What we'll do is we'll make sure to mention you in our thing so everyone will know where to find you, because people that are curious can go check it out
Yes.
on Instagram.
Playfully
Yeah, no,
Wicked with
thank you.
Jay and the
Oh,
gang.
thanks so much. Okay, bye.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jay.